Welcome back to Simple Human Design. I'm Charlie, I'm your host, and today we are going to be talking all about how to embody your human design. And this is a really important aspect of the human design system because a lot of people will just go and look on Instagram, or they might even have a reading, or they'll, read books or listen to podcasts, and they will intellectually learn about their design. So they'll understand, oh, I have gate 5 in my conscious sun. I have gate 19. I have this, I have that. I'm a role model because I'm line 6. And they will really learn cerebrally, intellectually about their design. And obviously this is the first step, and this is the one of the most amazing steps to take, really, because you're really starting to lean into the system. You're starting to lean into the concept of, wanting to live with the flow of your design instead of against it. So if you have started doing this yourself, and obviously, because you're here with me learning a little bit about the human design system through my bite-sized podcast episodes, I'm guessing that, yes, you're here to learn, and that's great because I'm here to teach you. However, there's always 2 stages to learning the human design system. So there's this real really big understanding of it to start off with, like I've mentioned. So it's the understanding that this is who I am. But what about the embodiment of it? How do you actually put this into practice? How do you actually come to realize this is so deeply who you are that it helps you to stop having those resistances in life? It helps you to increase your self-worth. It helps you to decrease imposter syndrome. Right, so when you start to embody your human design, all of these wonderful, magical things can happen, and you can really start living life in alignment. So how is it that we can actually start embodying our design? First of all, I want to say to you that it's very important for you to understand that you will never know the timing that you will start to embody it. Okay, so when I went through I'm still going through my experimentation, and I will for the rest of my life, with the human design system, I started to notice things slowly start to drop in, and they'd be tiny little things, right? So if you have a reading, let's say, and you learn all about gate 5, which is a gate of fixed patterns, and it's like, following your natural rhythms, then this can start to help you when your ego mind sort of like starts to take over, but your body's saying, no, you have a rhythm here, you have a natural thing that you need to do. Follow your body and not your mind. Okay, so slowly you're going to be able to start to stop living your life through your ego mind and start living your life through your design. Right, and that one particular instance of you having gate 5, the gate of fixed patterns in your chart, that might be an instant understanding for you. Right, I did a reading for somebody the other day that has gate 5 in their conscious sun, which is a really prominent part of their chart, and they were already embodying it. They were already living by it. It's just that every time now that her ego mind comes in and says, oh, maybe you should be doing this and maybe you should be doing that. No, listen to your body, and she'll be able to, really start to live by that cyclical process that she has, that nobody else has. It's her own cyclical process and her own patterns that she has created. Now, I also have line 5 in my design, and it took me 2 years to understand it. So do you see how there's a big difference with someone who maybe has already been living in that way, and then they hear about it through their human design, and then they're like, oh, yes, it's acceptance, right, when you hear that. But when I found out about line 5 for me, I didn't like it at all. because I was not a fixed person. I was not someone who liked to have the same things happen to me every single morning and the same things happen every single evening. But as I started to embody my design, I started really coming into my own rhythms and my own understanding of what I like to do. And, sometimes that is going for a walk in the morning and sometimes it isn't. And that's fine, because a fixed pattern doesn't have to be on a daily basis or on an hourly basis or on a weekly basis. It doesn't matter, because it's you and your understanding of your cyclical nature. Right. So do you see how there's a difference there between somebody who's already embodied it anyway, and when they learn it, they can really start to stop that ego mind coming in and saying, oh yeah, but you should be doing this. And then also there's a difference between, my own journey of, wow, I really don't resonate with that. It doesn't feel like me. But the moment that I started to surrender to the fact that I do have fixed patterns and I do have a cyclical nature, and actually it really helped during this process that I was, really starting to use the human design system to decondition. It really helped me when I intuitively knew that the contraceptive pill, was not for me, and I actually came into my own cycle for once in my life. That actually really started happening as well. So that process of me learning human design, realizing intuitively that I needed to come off the pill because that was what it was best for me, and then starting to step into this cyclical nature, that was when I started to really understand that particular part of me, right? So you're not going to learn everything in the moment, in a reading right now, right? You can learn it, yes, but you won't embody it. So how do we start to embody our design? So first of all, it's simply just having a projector. And I know I'm tooting my own horn here, but simply actually just having a projector in your life can really start to be the catalyst for you understanding, because a projector will see certain things in your life where you're thinking, you're not quite in alignment, or something's missing, or there's just something there that's not quite working out for you. There's like a resistance there, okay? And any aligned projector, or any projector who's using the human design system, is going to be able to see that. And that's kind of what I do with my clients, because I can see where there's a misalignment. And then I guide them into helping them to understand that it's actually their ego mind that's running the show in that way. And it's not, your true self, and it's not the embodiment. And through that guidance, you can start to really understand how to embody that part of your chart. Now, obviously, I didn't have a projector in a one-to-one sense. I had a lot of projectors in my life that were in sort of like group sort of experiences and teaching experiences as well. So how do you do it when you haven't got somebody like me who's going to come along and help you to guide you back to your true self? So really, it's all about kind of intellectually understanding it, right? But then having that self-reflection so that when something does pop up, you might go, oh, I wonder why that happened. I wonder why I said that. I wonder why that person reacted in that way. Having that self-reflection and then seeing how it relates to your chart. So one of the things that I always say to my clients to do when they've had a reading with me specifically, and I always record their readings, is listen back to the reading, of course, but then also go back to it 6 months later as well. Because when you go back to something 6 months later, you'll have had 6 months to learn, to embody, and to self-reflect, so that you'll then come back to the reading, and more all of a sudden will start making sense, and you'll be like, oh, this is really starting to come into fruition here, right? So really, it's about just that very slow reflection, contemplation, living your life. All this sort of lovely, amazing stuff can then start to help you embody your design. Now, I am just coming up to my 4th year anniversary of when I discovered the human design system. And I am nowhere near embodying my entire design. And one of the most important things also for me to mention right here, actually, as well, is that it's very important that if you start to get stuck, if you start to worry, if you start to think, oh, this isn't happening, like the resistance is still there, what is going on? The very simple thing that you need to come back to every single time is your strategy and authority. So if things aren't working, just say to yourself, right, where am I using my strategy and where am I not? And where am I using my authority and where have I gone wrong? Where have I let my ego mind decide for me because of logic and strategy? Where have I responded to something that usually, throughout my life, I just respond yes, 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 yes? Where have I responded something yes that actually should have been a no? And where can I start to really come back to that and remember I need to live by my strategy and authority? Because if you do get overwhelmed, if you're sort of going down the rabbit hole with it, or you're getting a lot of resistance, or you're in melancholy, etc., then this is where you need to start. Just release everything, surrender to it, come back to your strategy and authority, and just live by that for a couple of hours, couple of days, couple of weeks, and then that will help you to step back into alignment. Okay. Now, if you're interested in having me to help you understand your design, both intellectually and starting to embody your design as well, then take a look at the links in the show notes, and I will just send you off to like a couple of different sort of like services that I have. And you can come on board and like start like being guided by me, your intuitive projector. So thank you very much for listening. Thanks for tuning in. And just remember to be patient. Yeah, you managers out there might be thinking, yeah, but I want this now. I want this now. I'm sorry, but you have to be patient with everything to do with self-development. It's not about just learning the information. It's about embodying it as well. And that embodiment might come in a day, a week, a month, a year, or 10 years. Right? Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Simple Human Design.